Hey kids, you like Castro? Hello everyone, and welcome back to Picture This, the Best Picture Movie Review Show. And from all of us, just to you, welcome to the 60s. My name is Alex, and with me is our very own sad sack, Jack Pinchuk.
Yeah.
Also joining us to pump your stomach if you need to, it's Matthew Chen.
I missed last week, so I can say welcome to the 60s.
And here to be the neighbor that judges you, it's Adelaide Spence.
We're still in the 60s, Matthew. Like, it's 1960s. That's at the top. Or it's at the bottom for you, too. But, like, it's still there.
And here to fuck someone in your apartment, it's Caleb Cook.
That's the most... Hold on. First and foremost, that is the most accurate and most okay I am with an Alex intro for me this entire series.
and back with us to review a movie that's he's only here because it's good. It's this time. It's Cameron Redshaw.
Hello.
Yeah.
Welcome to the most overloaded Best Picture decade, or front-loaded Best Picture decade ever.
It's going to be a ride.
Oh my goodness! Speaking of rides, it's the Apartment, the movie about letting someone else shag in your apartment and then getting the girl out of it. It's a really weird movie, actually. Now that I think about it,
This whole movie is like,
if you just lay it out with
this
someone
movie is
with a
the
sarcastic
manifestation-
voice,
Sorry. This movie is the manifestation of what it's like to be cucked. This is what this movie is. It's about getting cucked.
That's what his name stands for, right? Cuck bastard.
Exactly. Cuck bastard? Is that what you just called me?
Miss Kuckelick.
I'm tired.
it's gonna be.
I mean, his name is Baxter, so that's at least close.
Cuck.
Anyway,
Cuck.
We have to get that out of the way early, actually. So we're not doing the plot. I mean, we have to. This is the
We
movie
had-
where
we
that
would try
happens,
that.
and then someone overdoses. I was told this was a comedy, actually, and then I was like,
It was
how
funny
many-
for about an hour, and then it got
Yeah, it
really
was.
sad.
and then it was
It
really
takes a
not.
very dark turn. Yeah. It doesn't really have like a genre, like
Mm.
maybe romance. I hate when people call it a rom-com, though, honestly, because like it
Definitely not that.
feels like such a weird
Yeah. If you make your
categorization.
top 10 rom-coms, listen, this is on it, you're a bad person.
I agree.
My favorite rom-com, How to Murder Your Wife.
oh no.
That froze perfectly.
Oh, he's actually frozen. I didn't even notice.
Oh, holy shit, he is.
Oh, that's
Oh,
perfect.
damn.
Okay. Not anymore.
Hello.
He's back.
Hello.
Yeah,
I switched to a hotspot because the Wi-Fi was bad for me.
fair.
So how do we want to do this? Do we want to do
know
rankings?
what?
Do we want to do do we want to
No,
do
no,
ratings? Do we wanna
let's do the ratings.
Let's actually talk about the movie a little bit.
Okay,
we should
so
probably talk about the movie.
okay, that's probably true. So Shirley MacLaine can't be happy on this show. Shirley MacLaine can't be happy. She's a secretary, or she's a door operator, like an elevator operator, and she's sleeping with one of the bosses. And
Fred McMurray, baby.
and
From Double Indemnity.
she meets a guy
He
who
can
is
only play bad people in Billy Wilder movies. McMurray can only
In
be a bad
Disney
person.
movies, he's like always happy-go-lucky, and
be typecast. Folks. That's how you get
in-
jobs.
never mind. We'll move on. In like Disney movies, he's like the poster
Yeah.
boy, like everyman, absent-minded professor,
He's like Chris
Shaggy
Evans
Dog,
in,
like
he's the
he's like
everyman
this
in the
lovable
Disney-
guy in all the Disney live-action movies, and then in Billy Wilder movies, he's just such a scumbag, and he's great at being a scumbag. He's great in this movie.
He is.
He's very good.
Yeah.
Alex,
Anyway.
you want to make that post live on the Facebook page, and then
Sure, that's what this show needs, viewers.
yeah.
Just kidding.
Optional.
We got another Cameron in the building.
I live in
Hey!
And I've met this one.
Oh no, there's another camera. That's,
Yeah,
No,
eventually
Doc,
we will
this-
do a Cameron Hunger Games where the
Doc, this
winner
one's a
gets to be
communist,
Cameron.
though.
oh, wait. That,
You're
that's
wearing
enough
the red
to add
and
him to the
orange
fray. Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah, I'm cold in here.
So, I think this is worth noting. I think this is the only time get to talk about Jack Lemmon in a Best Picture winner, like in an actual winner? Because we
think
didn't
you're right.
we didn't get to talk about Some Like It Hot because it wasn't nominated for picture, which is insane.
Mhm.
So we didn't get to talk about him on the extra credit for that. We got to talk about him for his Oscar-winning performance in Mr. Roberts in extra credit, but we haven't gotten to talk about him as part of the actual Best Picture ranking until now. And he's amazing in this movie.
Yeah.
He's phenomenal.
But
I love Jack
is he
Lemmon
the
in this
best
movie.
performance in the movie?
Let's find out. Stand-up performer.
I know.
Yeah, we'll do that. Stand-up
Yes,
performer.
we can.
Let's start with the case for
This
Jack
one
Lemmon.
hurts my heart.
Let's start with the case for Jack Lemmon. I think he's
It's-
incredible in this movie. Not
He's incredible.
not
Yeah,
necessarily
and
my
it's
favorite.
kind of sorry, I'm like talking over you.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
It to me it's like the quintessential Jack Lemmon performance because it's like it embodies like so much of what makes him charismatic and likable and kind of that everyman nature of him, but also like it just works so well towards this specific character because he's got that air to him that he's just trying to please everyone, or he's convinced himself that he's just trying to please everyone and he's trying to do this for himself to get himself forward, but he's really just kind of letting himself get pushed around, and I think he just kind of plays. He's just the perfect actor for this specific character, I think.
I agree.
I agree with that. I would have, if you asked me the first time I watched this movie, who the stand-up performer was, would have said McClane. But on second watch, I think I am on Team Lemmon. I think Jack Lemmon is really, really, really good at what he's supposed to do here. And like when you get to like the office party, he's like such an ass. It's like you watch him become such a shit person sometimes when he's like so nice in the opening. And like it was one of those things where I was watching it this time and I paused it for whatever reason, like what I thought was 20 minutes in. I was halfway through the movie. This movie just flies at a clip. And like you get a lot in a little bit of time, or a lot happens in a 48-minute span that makes you feel like, oh, can't be all going on. But it's like I think he's great. I think he is my favorite performance in this movie.
Anyone else want to comment on Jack Lemmon?
He's amazing. Like there's no I'm not gonna complain about him. It's like you have two people who murder like everyone else in any other film we've watched. And Fred McMurray's also.
And neither one won
yeah.
the Oscar.
Because
We'll
what
get to
happens?
that.
We'll
The
talk
Academy-
about that.
They only give one out, and they frequently give it to the wrong person.
I will say right now, whoever we pick, I'm happy to put them at one. I will not fight for one person over the other unless you pick Fred McMurray. Then you're fucked. But I think the other two are just perfection.
Not to discount
Jack
Fred Murray's performance.
Crucian.
I
Jack
was gonna say,
Crucian.
is no one gonna bring up Jack Crucian, the best supporting actor nominee?
Oh,
from this movie?
is he the doctor?
Yeah, he's
Oh,
Dr.
I
Grant.
love him.
Okay.
He's the best.
I
We'll
will
get
say-
to it. He's amazing. Too.
I will say the first time I saw the movie, I was very confused why he was nominated over McMurray, but I get it. Like he's a lot of fun in this movie.
His
And
role gets a lot better on rewatch.
It really does.
If I were the Academy, I would have given the male acting awards to 2 Jacks and then the female ones to 2 Shirleys.
That's true.
Which we'll get
That's
to. Shirley Jones for Elmer Gantry for
Ah,
support.
right, yeah.
by the way.
I forgot that's what her name was. Wow. All right, yeah, no. Think then yes, doggy cute.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, Coda is a very very cute dog.
Good boy.
Next, I think we can get into this one.
I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna guess. I'm Jack Lemmon, and the rest of you are Shirley MacLaine.
I am Jack Lemmon.
So
Shirley
we're I don't know. I can be a pushover sometimes. But I think I've decided that Shirley MacLaine's my favorite performance in this movie. I just think she gets to do a lot, and like I love Jack Lemmon so much, but he does get to kind of be Jack Lemmon for part of it, and then just kind of amplify certain aspects of what I interpret are kind of like his own personality and mannerisms. But Shirley MacLaine just gets to like be incredibly broad and like at parts, but then incredibly like just like super emotional and really targeted at other parts. And I just think there's just so much to this performance. It just hits me so hard every time. So
yeah, no, my vote would be Shirley MacLaine. There's just so many great moments that she's got in this film. When she hands CC Baxter the mirror, and he says the mirror's broken, which also that's a great moment in the movie for him as well. But she says, "I know it makes I like it that way. It makes me look the way I feel." And there's so many great moments with Shirley MacLaine. I had on the YLS Top 100, I had the scene where Baxter finds her in the apartment after she's OD'd, and it's just such a strong performance from both actors. I honestly have a hard time picking between the two, but I absolutely pick Shirley MacLaine. If gun to my head, Shirley MacLaine would be my pick.
my favorite moment of her performance is probably when Sheldrake gives her the $100 as a Christmas present, and she looks at it, and then she just like looks up and just like gives him the most piercing stare I've ever seen in my life. And it's just incredible. That and the New Year's scene at the Chinese restaurant at the end, where she just like starts off looking so miserable, and just how she glows up as she realized what Baxter did for her. I think those are like my two favorite things.
That's totally fair, and also possibly one of the greatest final lines in a movie ever. Shut up and deal. I love that line.
Yeah.
I think so. Okay, vote. Hands up for Jack Lemmon.
We lose.
Hands up for Shirley MacLaine.
Probably fine with that.
Cool. All right. So with that, I'll bring up the. That almost didn't go well. I'll put Shirley MacLaine in here. Where are we putting her? All right. Let's just start.
What else is
Yeah,
in the top 10?
Scroll up.
Yeah, this is going all the way up.
So top
Yeah.
10 currently
What?
is Gene Kelly for An American Paris, Sesue Hayakawa,
Dr.
for,
Seuss.
No.
Sesame Hayakawa
Marty,
is hard to say,
Ernest Borgnine for Marty, Lionel Barrymore for You Can't Take It With You, Carl Malden for On the Waterfront, 5 is Ingrid Bergman for Casablanca, 4 Broderick Crawford, All the King's Men, 3 Charles Lawton for Captain Bligh for Mutiny on the Bounty, 2 Ray Milland for The Lost Weekend, 1 Betty Davis for All About Eve.
Here's the thing: our
Where we
top
put-
2 should be Ingrid Bergman and Claudette Colbert. See, it's
Yep,
not
we're not-
that though.
Oh, our
said we
top
put
2
Shirley
should be
No, shut the fuck up, Jack.
We
I think
voted on it.
Charles
should be number
Lawton.
one.
Charles Lawton should be number 1, but we
You
can
voted
talk
on
about
this.
that later.
You're wrong.
Can we all agree that we
That's
do not
fair.
have a correct number 1, and Shirley MacLaine would be a great spot to put there?
Yes.
Here's my moral dilemma.
If I had to pick like a favorite performance of all time, it might be Shirley MacLaine in The Apartment. So
Here's
I'm going to be eternally biased, but
Here's my moral dilemma here. I think Shirley MacLaine is better than Betty Davis. I think Shirley MacLaine is better than Ray Milland. I don't think Shirley MacLaine is better than Charles Lawton, which is where we sit.
We
where
ran
I think
into
that-
this like a week or 2 weeks ago when
so
I had.
I'm in a position where I don't know if I can vote her number 1 or number 4. It's gonna be one of the two. So
See, I would vote her number 3 because 3 because I don't think she's better than Ray Milland in The Lost Weekend, but I do think she's better than Betty Davis in.
all right, I'll swing my vote number 1 because I think she should be better than Ray Milland and Betty Davis, and I'm not going to win that she's a lot worse than Charles Lawton.
as much as I love The Lost Weekend, I think it's insane to put Shirley MacLaine below Ray Milland. I think it's actually nuts.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna swing the exact same way that I voted above the pick that I want, because we ran into this recently. I can't remember what it was.
It's
for.
a fun moral dilemma to have with this list.
Yeah, but we ran into this because I think Ray Milland is probably the best performance we've had so far. But I think that this absolutely is better than Betty Davis.
Betty Davis.
You know,
So
I'm
there's-
fine with swinging to one. Yep, that's
Yeah,
totally
number
fine.
one. We're on number one. That's a majority vote.
Yeah, that's a majority.
Connor, we
All
did
right.
it.
Shirley MacLaine is number one for the apartment.
Sorry, Ray.
So I think
Didn't
we
work.
just sort of gave away, I think, a lot of our opinions. I think we should definitely just like continue like what we think of the movie.
Is this movie
yeah.
going to one? Let's just do it now if it is.
No,
Let's
no,
do
no,
it.
no, 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 no,
Let's-
no,
let's-
no, no,
let's
no,
see
no,
the
listen,
ratings.
Listen. We got a lot of work that we put into this show called Podcasts Within Podcasts, and therefore Adelaide Spence hit the song. Welcome back to How Gay Was My Valley, the podcast within the podcast where we rank how gay every Best Picture winner is. How gay is Billy Wilder's The Apartment, folks?
This is very complicated.
Hear me out. I
Kinda
was
gay.
gonna say, hear me out.
Kinda gay.
It's kind of gay.
It's kinda gay.
How are you guys?
Because
You guys
wait,
think every
all
movie's
of
gayer
these
than I
dudes
do.
are going to the same guys apart. All of them?
Yeah, all the guys are fucking in the same apartment.
That's a little weird, don't you think?
Jack Lemmon has to sleep in the bed that all these men are fucking other women in.
And he
He
seems
doesn't
to-
What's not- No, let's talk about the sheets. We can't talk about the
Yeah,
sheets.
doesn't
Okay.
wash them. He doesn't
Okay.
change them. He doesn't have special fuck sheets. So
Yep.
you're just sleeping in them, huh?
You're sleeping in a bunch of other dudes. CC Baxter.
I don't like
It's
it.
pretty sus. It's pretty
Pretty
sus.
sus. Pretty sus, CC. I think it's a little gay. At the very least, this movie is
Are
at
you
least
okay, Doc?
bisexual. This movie is
I'm
at
fine.
least bisexual.
Do you know what? I went the whole movie without thinking about it. And
You know
until
what?
Spence went, ha!
Yeah.
Then I went, wait.
Yeah.
How-
It was Spence's moan that makes you wait. Is the apartment gay?
Okay, wait, hear me out. What's the ratio of cum to sheet to make this movie gay?
Oh god.
Well, it's at
The
least
hard-hitting
like three,
conversations
right?
on this podcast.
It's like three
Cody, I hope you're
on
watching.
How many people?
I hope Cody.
He's
is watching
not.
this
He's
episode.
not.
He would have.
He's
He
not.
might be.
It's
We have
incredible.
one viewer currently. I'm pretty sure it's still
I
Tim.
want to
so-
I want to go to our special guest who loves the apartment more than all of us. How in your opinion as an apartment connoisseur, how homosexual is the apartment?
Somewhat.
So
I don't know.
gay.
What is the ranking? What am I comparing this
So
to?
let's
Okay.
bring up a list. Let's bring up a list.
Yeah.
It might be
So,
like
I'll leave it
halfway.
at bottom
So
for now.
to give you context, the least gay movie we have watched that's won Best Picture is Around the World in 80 Days, to the point where it might be actually homophobic. At the top of
That
the
is
list,
true.
At the top of the list, I think the gayest movie is still Grand Hotel because we have gay incest as a subplot. So like the Barrymores are trying to fuck each other in the Grand Hotel. So
and wait, and this movie was also watching gay incest on TV for
That's
a hot
true.
Grand
second.
Hotel
So it
is
gets
in
some
the
honorary
Oh,
gay.
it is canon. Yeah.
the gayest movie is in this Best Picture winner. So technically, that has to put it at least halfway up the list.
I would. Okay, let's start at 20. 'Cause I think it's more than homophobic or less than homophobic. Whatever.
It's like you think Billy Wilder's homophobic? So
I would say
Alex Spence
bump
trying
it
to
up
cancel
another
Billy Wilder.
5 spots.
I would say it's gayer than you can think of it.
Go up.
I want
Yeah.
to put it below The Lost Weekend. Yeah, below The
Oh,
Lost
Lost
Weekend,
Weekend
above
is
Happened One
gayer.
Night.
Last Weekend's gayer.
Lost Weekend's literally based off of like in the book, it's a gay romance
Yes,
instead of
but
an
that
alcohol
was-
addiction.
Yes, but it was cut from the
eating
movie.
that
That subplot
It
was
is-
entirely cut.
Sure, but
From the
Jack,
movie.
the movie still
But-
has so many homosexual undertones. His
I guess,
his
with the
interactions
bartender.
bartender are gay.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I was thinking we go higher because, like, Ben Hur, it's subtext. In the apartment, it is text. Like,
What's
No,
the
no,
text
it's not.
other than the
But what is the
cutscenes?
text?
no. He's like totally fine with like this. He says he's getting paid for it, but like,
I love
He's
that line
not
in the
getting-
apartment where Jack Lemmon says the words "jizzy sheets." I'm gonna go sleep in these jizzy sheets.
I'm gonna go home and sleep in other men.
Let me roll around in the jizzy sheets.
What the shit?
oh, he's
I
not.
think
Cody's
it
not
is-
watching now.
I think it is. I think it is perfectly fine at 15.
Oh no.
I'm okay
Because
with that.
Ben-Hur's not.
Ben-Hur
subtext.
is way more gay than
Yeah.
Ben-Hur is not
Ben-Hur is
subtext. That
way
movie
more
is
gay.
shouting that it is.
I don't
gay.
know about that.
Ben-Hur
If only it was
is.
called
You
Ben
see how
Hur.
they
Yeah.
throw
One,
those
okay, in
javelins?
Ben-Hur, one of them is literally
Wait.
running away from his.
I have a question. Has anyone
running from his
not
sexuality.
written a review for Ben-Hur yet?
I haven't, but I haven't watched it in 3 years.
So Jack, when you do our Letterboxd review for it, can you just have it be just Ben-Hur, more like bend him, and then that's it?
Honestly, I'm okay with that being our whole review. that says everything that we want to about Ben-Hur.
The
I think-
consensus.
Does anyone? Okay, let's put it like this. Raise your hand if you think the apartment is perfectly fine at 15.
Yes.
All right, lock it in. That's where it is. The
Yeah, I
apartment
don't
number
want to put it
15 on How
above
Gay Is My Valley.
Lost Weekend.
All right, that's it. Thank you for listening to
Wait.
How Gay Is My Valley.
Hang
podcast
on.
of the
Words I
podcast.
never thought I would hear Doc say. I don't want to put it above the Lost Weekend.
Spence, hit the song. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the podcast you've been waiting for all day. The podcast and the podcast. Matthew, hit the song.
Asian.
Welcome back to $1 Million Racist, the podcast on a podcast where we're going to rank how racist every Best Picture winner is. And as always, we come back to Billy Wilder with the same age-old question. Can Billy Wilder be racist?
Not yet.
You know,
I mean,
the Nazis
be
killed
racist?
his mom. I can't.
Can he be racist? I don't think Billy Wilder can be racist. Billy Wilder can walk up to anyone, shoot them,
Don't
and say
continue.
it was a hate crime, but he probably would not be
no,
called
bad
racist.
co-host.
That being said, it's
Because Billy Wilder
it's
made
just
the
white
apartment, and
people.
that's a free
There's
pass.
a lot of white
Here's the
people.
thing, the movie's not anti-racist is the problem.
Yeah. Oh, that's the issue. Is that's not anti-racist.
Well, yeah, if we're doing like the
There's a
rankings,
lot of
like,
white
it's not gonna be
people.
number one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
It's
fairly
also
a lot
white
of
people.
white.
That was our issue with the Lost Weekend. Is the movie is all white people.
Is Billy Wilder the OG Tim Burton?
It's not. It's
Wait,
not racist
what?
to be white.
It is not.
I mean,
Yeah.
It's statistically weird to not have
it's
any.
statistically weird to have no minorities.
But like,
Wait. Does anyone remember? I'm sorry to remind you that this movie existed, but does anyone remember in Cimarron the character Isaiah?
We remember.
That actor.
no, we
We remember.
That actor has a massive filmography, and in that filmography is The Apartment. So he is in here somewhere. We just didn't see him.
He's like in the background somewhere.
Yeah.
Here's the thing: if someone can prove to me with video photographic evidence that Isaiah from Cimarron is in The Apartment, I will put it number one on $1 Million Racist. just an vindication.
No.
Wait,
You put
wait.
it above Cimarron. How does that
Because
make
we let
sense?
Isaiah. Here's the thing: because we let
Jack,
Isaiah
pull up the
back
list. Pull up the
into
list.
film 30 years later as a character.
Oh my god.
I don't think there's
hate it
anything
here.
racist about The Apartment.
It's not.
Yeah, I don't
know.
anti-racist.
Like, here's the thing:
Yeah.
it's not racist, but it's not racist either. So, like,
I would say to
would
put
I
it.
think
But
it's fine.
I mean, none of these. I think
Casablanca is
Casablanca is the
anti-racist.
only one
Yeah.
that's anti-racist.
Just
Yeah,
put
right?
it,
Put it
yeah,
right there.
yeah, just put it right
Put it
there.
right there.
Yeah, perfect.
I think that's perfectly fine. We just can't put it above
Yeah.
the movie where we punch Nazis.
yeah.
I can't wait till I can't wait until 4 weeks when I get to bring back punching Nazis. I'm so excited to bring back punching Nazis.
Billy
all right,
Wilder would punch a Nazi if he got the
Why
chance.
didn't Billy Wilder make a movie about punching Nazis?
You know, that's a good point. He,
Questions to
he
ask.
makes
Cactus
an,
Flower should be about punching Nazis.
that was not
didn't
Billy
direct
Wilder.
Cactus
That was
Flower.
I.L. Diamond. He
I
didn't
know,
even write
but
it.
Billy Wilder
Carmel
should
Ledoux
have
should have been about
Shirley
Shirley MacLaine taking a deuce on some Nazis.
He kind of takes a deuce on communism.
The movie-
next
That's
year.
an L take though.
that's
The
true,
movie-
but that wasn't
the movie-
nominated,
The
unfortunately.
long-awaited
even though
sequel
that
to
was
The
was-
Apartment. The long-awaited sequel to The Apartment comes out in 1998, directed by Billy Wilder. It's called The Apartment 2: Punching Nazis. It has nothing to do with CC Baxter. It's about instead of going to an apartment to fuck, they go to an apartment thinking that they're going to a Nazi
punch.
meeting and they get killed. It's a beaten up Nazi fight club. Anyway, Matthew at the song.
Asian.
All right, and Alex at the song.
highway to the danger zone.
Welcome back to the podcast within a podcast where we are going to be ranking the age-old question. Is The Apartment better than Top Gun Maverick? The
Yes.
inevitable
Hit
Best
the song.
Picture winner
Yeah.
of 2022. I would like
No.
it stated. Hold on. I would like it stated that I have only ever once voted against Top Gun Maverick on this show, and that was because of Casablanca. This is the second time we'll be voting against Top Gun Maverick. The apartment is better than Top Gun Maverick. Does anyone disagree with the statement?
But does Jack Lemmon go to Mach 10? No.
No,
L.
he doesn't. But Shirley
He lets
MacLaine
some
goes-
other
MacLaine
dudes go to
goes
Mach 10.
30. Shirley MacLaine goes to Mach 69, if you know what I mean. All right, let's.
I no,
Hey,
just
hey,
stop
no.
that.
Stop
Hey.
talking,
I
co-host.
feel like how many men in this movie are vanilla? I feel like it's all of them.
Oh, all of them.
It's all of them.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
of them are vanilla. It's 1960.
Imagine wanting to like sleep with a married man. He's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do missionary for 5 minutes and get tired. Like that's a lot of risk for nothing.
It's a lot of risk for vanilla.
Okay, so
Bring up
Why
the-
do
better
I
than
agree
Top
with
Gun
you?
Maverick, yes. Okay.
Everyone agrees that Top Gun Maverick is
Yeah.
worse than The Apartment, correct?
Yes.
I'm so happy Doc his earbuds in.
Excellent.
Yes. No, you should. My mom wanted to. We drove with my mom, and she wanted to be in the car to like listen to me talk about this. She would have heard me just say "jizzy sheets" 6 times in a row.
She would have been on this podcast with you and been like, Cameron.
Okay, wait,
Just
wait.
like disappointed. Oh wait, sorry, Alex hit the song.
I hate to danger zone.
Then, wait. When we get to 1978, can we get Doc to come back for Halloween so we can talk about if Michael is wearing jizzy sheets when he kills that one?
We're not going to talk about Halloween,
It's
We
not
should.
nominated, dumbass.
but you know what? You know what was nominated? Psycho, and we're going to talk about the extra credit section, even if it doesn't count towards extra credit. All right, so
What? No.
with that, we're
Jack,
on
just give
to
the
ranking the
rankings.
movie.
Or,
For the
yeah.
ranking.
Ratings. Okay, so Jack, start with the highest rating.
Oh yeah. Okay, I'll go to the we'll start the person who was the lowest rated here.
Oh, that's
Excellent.
weird.
Excellent.
Oh, look, it's me. Yeah, I thought this was a really, really, really well done movie. I take issue. I mean, I guess we're not gonna do worst. I guess that's the thing. We can't do worst performance if there's not really one that's bad.
No.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna
gonna
tell you what
lose
mine
for
was
the
gonna
award.
be because
It's Isaiah from Cimarron, right? He's a
Nope.
movie, I guess.
No, it wasn't. But
Who
I'm
was
not
it?
gonna tell you what it was gonna be because it doesn't matter
Alex,
anymore.
say it. Alex, say it.
So yeah,
Alex,
I thought
say
this was
it.
a really well done
Fred
movie.
Murray?
I
Fred
love
Murray.
the trend of Shirley MacLaine continuing to be miserable on our show. That must never stop. And it's just it was just really well
Listen,
done.
you're going to be very excited. We get Shirley MacLaine being miserable one more time,
Let's go.
at least. One
It's
more
really
time.
Alex,
complete.
no, but Alex, who is your least favorite
Very
performance in this movie?
So yeah, Jack, who's next?
One sec.
I'm just very curious.
It's Doc.
Yeah,
Doc,
Alex,
Doc
you,
is the
Alex, you
number
should
one
DM
of
Doc
Yeah.
and no one else who you think is the worst in this movie.
I will. You know what? I will.
Do it right now.
I'm using Jesse's phone, so I won't see it.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just crazy.
You're going to see how this is going to go. This is probably as close to a movie that we've gotten so far. Sorry, Casablanca. But this is just like different. In my total best picture ranking that I have private so no one can fucking see preview for a show, this is the only movie we've covered so far. This is my top 10 of the 69 movies that I've seen so far. Best picture winners. So,
Giggity.
Nice.
yeah. It's not changing for another week and a half.
Wait,
All
so
right. Coho.
Anyway, yeah, I love this movie. I had only seen it the one time because Cameron Bradshaw literally threatened to leave the faction if I didn't watch it.
That was
And I watched it, and it's perfect. This movie is great. I had not watched it since. I watched it this morning, and I loved it even more. I forgot how much I liked it. Movie's great. I think Lemmon and MacLaine are great. I think this is honestly debatably Wilder's best script. You can make a case that this is better than Sunset Boulevard for me in terms of a screenplay at this point, because I actually think I like The Apartment more than Sunset Boulevard now. So Apartment might be my favorite Billy Wilder movie at this point in time. That consensus is new and not entirely validated by the board of Caleb Coho opinions, but it might be certified by the end of this episode because Double Indemnity also climbing up that ranking. So we'll see. But great movie, and I think we all know where this is about to go. So
Yeah. Matthew. You're next.
All right, yeah, this is a perfect movie. So out of everything that we've seen so far, this is the second one that's in my top 100, and so watching it for the third time, just incredible, incredible screenplay. I think Billy Wilder just does a fantastic job of balancing tone and themes that are also like really playful, and yeah, it's perfect.
Yeah, this is a 5 out of 5 for me. It's in my top 100. It's in my top 25 movies of all time. I think it's my 22. This is the fourth top 100 movie that we've watched for me, and it's perfect. Wilder is at his absolute best here. McClane and Lemmon give some of my favorite performances ever. I talked about how the overdose scene is one of I think one of the greatest just absolute shifts in tone in a movie ever, because it's funny for like the first hour, and as soon as that happens, the joke's almost entirely like the wit is still there in the writing, but it's not like you're not laughing as much as you were in the first hour. And it's just such a brilliantly paced movie. The writing is perfect. Like I said, Fred McMurray is great as this absolute bag of dicks that you just want to punch. No, I love this movie. I won't go too much into it because I do believe Doc here may have some more things to say about it. Take it away, Doc.
Yeah, since the first time I watched this movie, it was like instantly top 10, and by like the second rewatch, I was like, yeah, this is my favorite movie. It just like exemplifies what makes Billy Wilder what I like, my favorite director, what I love about him. Like he can he can juggle tones like between movies. He's made so many different types of movies, but this movie in itself like balances so many tones and so many genres and styles, and like each time you watch it, it's just like you get caught up in each and every twist. Like the Christmas party scene when Miss Olsen like drops all the information on Fran, and then how CC Baxter learns about Fran and Sheldrake being together, and just how that changes the entire movie going forward, and how the suicide attempt changes the entire movie going forward, and just how from the moment that Baxter discovers Fran in the apartment, they just develop this on-screen relationship that's so unique and so just like warm, like this warm friendship that's just kind of really beautiful without being inherently romantic. Just being together and spending all this time together and really helping each other figure out what needs to change in their situation, even if they don't have the strength at the moment to make that happen. It's just like they learn so much from each other and learn this affection that, like, again, never becomes inherently romantic, especially from Fran's angle. But I still think it's so beautiful. And just how it ends, how it sets up everything at the ending, and it just has like these, I like to call it the dominoes of elation. Just like it sets up all these like, just like you think you're gonna be disappointed when CC Baxter gives Sheldrake the key, and you're like, oh, all right, this is how this is going. And then he's like, this is the wrong key, and you're like, wait, what? And then he's like, I'm all washed up around here, and it's just like fist bump after fist bump when he puts the hat on the elevator or the janitor guy, and then you go to the New Year's party at the Chinese restaurant, and Fran just looks so miserable, and you're like, oh, she found her way back to Sheldrake even after all of that. Oh, god damn it. But then you just see her face change when she realizes that Baxter's finally grown a backbone, finally figured out how to be the man that he wants to be, and how to get out of the shell that he was trapping himself in. And then she just like gets a smile on her face, and then she was like, "That's the way it crumbles, cookie wise." And then she says, "I'd spell it out for you, but I can't spell." And just each time, I just get so excited. And then they sing the Auld Lang Syne, and Sheldrake turns around, and she's not there. And then she's running down the street, and I just get just this massive lift of elation, just like unparalleled by any movie. Like even when it's referenced in La La Land, that's like one of my favorite like emotional moments of that movie too. When Mia's running through the street, and then just how it all comes to a head at the apartment at the end. I could just like talk about this so long. I don't want to drag everything on.
This is entirely why you're here. This is the best content we've had on the show for a long time. So
but
this is the best content we've had on the show since the last weekend.
It's just perfect. It's just perfect. And like as she's running up the stairs and she hears the gunshot and she runs up and she's so like scared because she cares so much. And then she's like, I always find the line, "How's your knee?" just so funny and just so cute and so warm when she comes up to the door, and just all that. And in true Billy Wilder fashion, like it wraps up really cleanly, even though the characters aren't really in a very secure spot in their story in it, but you know that it's going to be okay because you know that they've figured out who they are and who they want to be together. And even though like you aren't sure if Fran loves him back, like you aren't sure if Cece is going to have to move to another place to find another job, like you don't, there's so many uncertainties, but you know they're going to be okay because they figured this out together. And I everything about this movie is beautiful to me. I just think it's wonderful. So
yeah, that's. Oh my goodness. Hearing Doc talk about movies makes me love those movies even more. Oh goodness, where is the comment?
Let's rank it.
Yeah, let me just get the banner down, pull the screen.
Yeah, what's the
up,
average ranking? Is it a perfect 5? Is that our average? Is a perfect 5?
Yes.
Oh yeah, our average is
the first
perfect 5. It's the first.
Is that the first one?
Perfect 5.
woo!
A good game, everybody. We
So,
did it.
Yeah, we did it. Everyone, anyone not in favor of putting this at number 1?
Here, I'm not gonna object to it being at number 1. It's my personal number 3 out of the ones we've seen so far, but I am totally fine keeping it at 1.
Okay, but Jack, your opinion doesn't matter. Anyone who objects to putting it number 1, hard objects.
No, all in favor of putting it at number 1, raise your hand.
Sure.
That's majority.
Bow! With
Alex, where
that,
would you have put
we
it?
have a new number 1.
All
Oh,
About
no.
You should be number 2.
Alex, where would you have put it?
It would be 2, but like this is just one majority that I'm not gonna beat. You know what I mean? Like
Sure.
this is
Yeah.
If I had to choose between one and the other, it doesn't really matter which. You know what I mean? Like yeah, they're both.
And-
out. What do you want me?
Oh
to
yeah, also the decade average for last decade, because we didn't get to do that, is 3.3 out of 5. Let's just say Around the World
Man,
in
the
80
50s
days
were
and
rough.
Greatest Show on Earth sucked.
Again, 60s are going to be 60s will be very interesting because in my opinion the first 3 are like some of the best picture winners ever, and then Tom Jones is such a weird best picture winner.
And then you got to deal with My Fair Fucking Lady.
Oh.
Rip.
Yeah. Look,
R.I.P.
Doc, I'm just telling you now, you're not going to be happy with my opinions when we get to the third best picture winner. Of this
I know
decade.
you don't like Lawrence of Arabia, and I get it. It's not going to be for everyone. Like it's going to be divisive. On
I've
the
never
show.
seen
I'm not
it,
gonna
so
like it.
this
I
will
can tell
be
you that
fun.
right now. I got a feeling.
I can't wait to watch Lawrence of Arabia and either love it or hate it. No in the middle.
Or
You know
you'll
what I
love
can't
the
wait
first
for?
half and hate the second half because
I guess that's also a possibility.
I'm here to ask the real hard questions. Are we group watching? Are we group watching?
Are we group
Midnight
watching
Cowboy?
Lawrence of Arabia?
No,
Midnight Cowboy?
not that.
Don't
Midnight
ask on
Cowboy.
this show because we're gonna get an angry DM from Bowman being like, "Why the fuck are you doing that? Why are you watching movies?" Actually, it would be Payson. One of the two.
One
or
of
me.
us.
It's all right. I have them both blocked, so it's fine. It doesn't.
We haven't watched a movie together since like
Gone with the
the
Wind.
40s. Actually, no, we watched Marty together.
Oh no, we watched Rebecca. Oh, you guys watched Marty. I wasn't there for Marty.
I watched.
watched
I
Going
remember
My
when
Way.
you guys watched Rebecca.
We watched Going My
I
Way.
can't wait.
When was our
Oh,
last?
we did
like,
watch Going My
fully
Way. We did go watch
together
Going.
show?
We did watch Going My Way. Going My Way.
Yeah.
I think it was the last one.
When was our last fully together show?
Yeah, when
It's
was the
been a
last
hard
time
minute.
all 5
Going
of us-
My
It's been
Way.
a minute.
I know a
Yeah.
couple
I
of
sat-
us watched.
Well, I
Marty.
sat out on Gigi and Ben Hur, so
Yeah, I wasn't.
I didn't get,
here for
which
that.
I didn't get to talk about. Ben Hur is like
Fine,
a little bit better than I thought it was going to be.
it's fine.
It's too long.
It's not like a great movie. 10 Commandments is dunking it, but like
Ben
it's-
Hur
of the-
slaps.
Ben
I
Hur's
love
pretty-
Ben Hur.
Ben Hur's pretty good. I really want to watch the one where Morgan Freeman is in it.
Oh my god.
I want to see the one where they turn it into an hour and 45-minute action vehicle. But yeah, no. Okay. Jack, hit the clip.
Wait. Oh yeah, that.
Extra credit!
So when it comes to extra credit, there really wasn't much options. I did not participate in anything that is an eligible extra credit this week. I did not watch Elmer Gantry in time. The eligible extra credits for this week were The Alamo, which is the only Best Picture nomination for producer John Wayne. Elmer Gantry, Sons and Lovers, and The Sundowners for Fred Zinnemann. So, did anyone watch any of those 4 movies?
I can contribute to this because I've seen 2 of these,
Cool.
but it's been a bit. I've
That's
seen
good.
Elmer Gantry and The Sundowners, and I almost
Yeah.
watched Butterfield 8 before this, so I could be extra angry, but I still have not seen it.
So Matthew, you're usually the go-to. I've watched everything nominated in this
I-
year. Did you watch anything?
I decided to watch Butterfield 8 instead of one of the Best Picture nominees.
Okay, so we technically don't have any official extra credits to rank this week. But so we can just
Well,
we don't have to worry about lists. We can just talk about all the stuff. So
yeah,
it's not-
I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna include Elmer Gantry because I haven't finished it. But so far, it's fine. Burt Lancaster is pretty good. He's overacting, but like in I think it was Cody's review, all the best ways. So, like
Yeah.
it's a fine win. It's just he's no Jack Lemmon.
So
Yeah.
I want to then grip. Oh wait, no, sorry, Jack. You've seen or Doc. You've seen Elmer Gantry. You talk.
I
about
have.
Gantry.
Yes. So I really like Elmer Gantry. I'm in a very similar boat where I think Lancaster's very good, and he is overacting, but that's the character. Because the character is like this really charismatic traveling salesman who meets a female pastor and like convinces her that, hey, I can be a pastor. I can be part of this big church revival that you're trying to be a part of. So a lot of it is supposed to be him being really over the top and like kind of fake feeling, like kind of not transparent at all, and just like you always have to sense that something is dark under there, that there's something in his past that like he just isn't bringing to the surface. And I think his performance works really well for that. It's not anywhere close to Jack Lemmon, but also like this is Burt Lancaster's only Oscar and he's an incredible actor, so like I want him to like have had an Oscar to his resume. I just kind of hate that it had to be this year. But I think it's a good movie. Shirley Jones in her like few scenes though is amazing. Like Shirley Jones is absolutely the standout of the movie. Even explaining who her character is a spoiler, so I'm not gonna really get into that. But I think she's absolutely the standout and she's really great. So yeah, it's a good movie. Definitely too long, but yeah, it's good.
Okay, so then bringing up this year, there are a couple movies, notably, that were not nominated for Best Picture, but were nominated in a lot of categories. The first one I want to bring up is Inherit the Wind, which is quite good, and Spencer Tracy is nominated in Best Actor. I do think Jack Lemmon is better than him. And I don't know, has anyone else seen Inherit the Wind? Because I think that was also, that was an adapted screenplay nominee also.
I really want to because I don't know if I will convince you guys to let me on next week. But there's a Stanley Kramer courtroom film comes out the next year
Goated.
that is
Fucking goated.
incredible. That also has a Spencer Tracy nominated performance.
It does.
But I do really want to see Inherit the Wind. It sounds very good.
I will say next week we do have a guest lined up. He hasn't confirmed.
Is it that hack? Is it a hack?
No, it's not. It's not the hack. It's the person who is technically related to me that I would call a hack. If I wasn't afraid he'd drive to my house.
We're doing the other Cameron. The other
Yeah,
Cameron.
the other Cameron.
Here's the thing. Between the two Camerons.
True. The other big one, and this is one that I've had conversations with in our group chat many times, is Psycho. Is notably missing from Best Picture, but it is nominated for Best Director for Hitchcock, and Janet Leigh is nominated for Best Supporting Actress. It's also nominated for a lot of technicals. And I maintain that I think that while Billy Wilder's Best Director win's not a bad win, Alfred Hitchcock should have won Best Director for Psycho over Billy Wilder for The Apartment this year in the directing category, especially because Wilder wins producer and original screenplay for this movie already, and Hitchcock has never won. This is his final nomination, and I think that Psycho is his best movie. I think Psycho is the best Hitchcock movie and the best Hitchcock direction. So my take is that if we were ever going to give Hitchcock Best Director, he should have won Best Director for Psycho in 1960, and Wilder, who had already won Best Director, was still going to win Picture and Screenplay for this movie already. So, like, I would give The Apartment everything but Director, and give Director and Supporting Actress, which he wasn't nominated for. I would give it Psycho, Director, and Supporting Actress. So, Rebecca is bad, though, so we don't talk about it.
Rebecca is not bad. You're just an idiot.
Rebecca is fantastic.
Rebecca is only better than How Green Is My Valley.
Rebecca is the worst of the two Hitchcock Best Picture nominees in that year. Foreign Correspondent is dunking on it.
After having seen Foreign Correspondent, I understand what you're saying. I disagree. I feel like Rebecca is far superior.
Rebecca is the worst Hitchcock film that I've seen.
I agree with that. Am I alone on this island that Hitchcock should win for Psycho over Billy Wilder?
Yes.
It is. Yes, but it's very complicated for me because I also think Psycho is Hitchcock's best movie. Psycho is also a 5-star movie for me.
Right.
But I also think that what Billy Wilder's doing, like even beyond like how he's directing the performances, I think what he's doing on a visual level and a technical level is actually really underrated in The Apartment. Just how he shoots things in The Apartment, how there's always like this space behind like every character in most every shot to like help it feel open, and how when Baxter and Fran are on screen together, they're almost always on the same, like in the same shot. Meanwhile, when Fran and Sheldrake are in a scene together, it's always like just one of them. And shot reverse shot. I think it's really, really underrated. Even though like it's hard to deny though that what Hitchcock does is revolutionary.
It's also hard to like Hitchcock makes like cinema defining choices that will impact future filmmakers forever with Psycho. Like the first time, like it's dumb. It's a dumb thing to say out loud when you think about it. But the fact that that's the first time you see like a toilet flushing on screen is like kind of wild.
So hear me out. I think there's two things in The Apartment which sell me over Hitchcock. Number one, I think that tone and change is so hard to do. Like it's an extreme difference of like first half, second half. The fact that he's able to pull it off when you don't feel that difference is perfection. On top of that, I was watching this with my roommate, and I just randomly said, "This movie looks so colorful." Like it's not, but I can feel so much of like the intended, like how it's supposed to look, how it could look in color, and that's
that is also a true
impossible because it's fucking black and white. But
that's right.
Like
Speaking of black and white,
how bright that world is.
Speaking of black and white, this is the last film that we are going to cover until Schindler's List. That is a black and white film. And on top of that, though, Schindler's List is not a full color film. So the next time we will or full black and white film, there is color.
It's Jack's favorite.
The next time we will cover a fully black and white film will be The Artist in 2011, which is the last time a black and white film will be.
Fucking movie.
No, it is not.
No,
it's a great movie.
Yeah.
4-star movie.
Not good.
dear
But yeah,
God.
no, I actually kind of understand what you mean by that. Like, I do think Wilder's like a good director win. Like, I'm not taking anything away from him. I just think like it's insane to me that Alfred Hitchcock has never won an Academy Award and like for directing, and it's like the man. I think his final nomination being his best movie is like an insane thing, and like I think
Yeah.
you can honestly make a. I think you can make a case at least.
Okay.
Rear
Steph-
Window.
Has anyone? My last question
I-
to ask is: Has anyone seen The Alamo?
No.
No,
I hear it's
Coho,
terrible.
what do you remember?
I've seen the Sundowners.
remember-
I don't know if
The
I can
Alamo.
say anything about the Sundowners.
Yeah. One of the 5 best jokes in all of American cinema is Pee Wee Herman's Big Adventure Alamo joke. No, I like looked through the nominees and like I see Spartacus, but like
Not
again not
No.
nominated. So like there's a lot of movies in here where it's like that is a little weird that it wasn't nominated.
Have people here seen Spartacus?
No.
Yeah.
Anyone?
I am
I'm
Spartacus.
Spartacus.
I actually think I would give the Oscar to Khrushchev over Ustinov.
I would as well. No,
but
I agree. I think Ustinov is the wrong Spartacus performance to even attempt to nominate. I
It
think
also might
Olivia-
be the wrong Ustinov performance because he's in the Sundowners and he's really good in the Sundowners.
because I would have gone Olivier or Lawton from
Lawton over
Spartacus.
Ustinov for sure.
Yeah. And like I get why they go Ustinov. Ustinov is the one that like has the most, I guess, character growth.
Yeah.
But it's like the performance doesn't I don't think the performance is that strong.
Okay. The Visit.
I've not
very
seen-
good. The Visit is very good.
Wait, are we
I
talking about the
think-
M
Are
Night
we talking the
Shyamalan of the Visit?
Shyamalan?
Okay,
Yeah, I'm
if you're talking the Shyamalan one, then no. But if you're talking the
visit
one
are we
with
talking
Ingrid Bergman playing a villain, yes, that's a very good movie.
I don't know.
Very sure that.
Well, Deborah Kerr does not play a villain in the Sundowners, so I don't
I
think
was-
that tracks.
I was
Either
so
way.
confused. I was simultaneously whiplashed and completely vindicated in my mind in the span of 30 seconds that Jack Pinchuk would believe that The Visit by M. Night Shyamalan is a great movie. Where I was like, why would you, Jack, The Visit? Oh, that makes sense why Jack would like The Visit. It was like a weird roller coaster. I was like, was Jack liking The Visit? Well, it makes sense why Jack would like The Visit.
I haven't seen the
Wild.
Also,
Wild.
Matthew, am I going to be very upset watching Butterfield 8?
I think that Elizabeth Taylor is very good and the only thing holding it together because the movie is very boring. And I also understand like why she won because of her tracheotomy and like with the Academy voters were because she was hospitalized and all that. I like it was like pity votes and also like because
what
she
the
didn't
fuck?
win for Cat on a Houghton Roof. It like makes sense.
It's
What
kind
she
of
should
a
have-
wild story. I'd recommend watching the
Be Kind Rewind
God.
video.
Yes, yeah, I forgot the name of the channel about it. It's actually really fascinating, but it also stinks because
Yeah,
she objectively deserves to win in '66, and yeah, I'm just sad that Shirley.
Yeah,
Shirley
like
missed
I
out.
understand why she won. Elizabeth Taylor won, but also like she's not giving a bad performance. At least like she is
Yeah,
good, but she's no Shirley MacLaine. It's just it's
I do want to preview next week if we're done with extra credits and the extra credit segment. So we have nothing to rank because none of us watched extra credit. Next week we are doing West Side Story. So buckle in.
Yes.
We are not going to compare it to the Spielberg one this week.
Yeah. Yeah.
Spoiler
In-
alert:
in-
million
in
million
two-
dollar racist might be very interesting.
In
Yeah.
2 years, we will come back here when we cover Spielberg's West Side Story in the extra credit segment and compare it to the original. So we'll come back. Then after that, I believe is Lawrence of Arabia. And that'll be interesting. Tar in 50 years. Tar's not winning Best Picture. Fuck off.
well, it'll be nominated.
It's gonna be
It'll be
nominated.
nominated.
It'll be an extra credit.
Probably.
Okay.
I
Real
think it
quick,
might
though.
get into director. It might.
I think
I,
he
sneak
gets
oh,
into
the
I
director.
wholly
Well.
believe Todd
Oh,
Field
he's my
gets his
two
first
for
nomination.
director right now.
Todd Field
Prediction
getting his
wise.
first nomination.
He's
Um,
incredible.
He is. The extra credits for next week, I do want to bring up Judgment at Nuremberg, The Hustler, The Guns of Navarone, and Fanny. I will be rewatching The Hustler. I will not be rewatching Judgment at Nuremberg because I watched it so recently. It's 3 hours, and
I've
watched
never
it
seen
so
it,
recently.
so I'll have to watch it.
Judgment at Nuremberg is like very difficult to find. Talk to me or Boatman. We have ways.
Okay.
But
I own it on Blu-ray if you come to Iowa.
yeah, come to the Des Moines area and watch Judgment at Nuremberg in
So,
Cameron Redshaw's screening room.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to watch Judgment Nuremberg, and if I can get through that, then I'm going to watch The Hustler.
The other thing I wanna
Judgment
point out-
Nuremberg fucks. It's an amazing movie.
The last thing I want to point out is that it is not eligible for the extra credit ranking. However, next year will be the last year where Frank Capra will have a film nominated at the Academy Awards because Pocketful of Miracles is nominated for Best Supporting Actor for Peter Falk that year, and it is his final film as a director, and it is a remake of Lady for a Day, which we've already covered on the show. So I can speak to Pocketful of Miracles a little bit during the extra credit segment next week. I have already seen all 5 of the nominees for Best Supporting Actor in that year. Which is cool, and the first time that I think I could say that about a classic Oscar year. So I will break down the 5 performances next week. And then what is it? It's Lawrence of Arabia, which is the extra
Kill a
credits
Mockingbird.
for that are To Kill a Mockingbird, The Music Man, The Longest Day, and the first remake that we can classify as a remake
yeah.
nominated for Best Picture, Mutiny on the Bounty, which has Marlon Brando not playing Bly in the 60s.
I mean, A Star is Born is a remake.
It wasn't nominated for picture.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I wasn't listening.
That's
Yeah. It's the first time we've had a remake nominated for Best Picture. It's going to be a fun time. We can talk about The Music Man and how it's not great.
Amazing. Oh, it's
Um,
fucking fantastic,
Not great.
bitch.
If they ever filmed a version of this with Hugh Jackman,
No,
it might be good. Hugh Jackman's probably the best to. Here's the thing.
it's closing
Here's the
for
thing.
a reason, Coho.
Yeah, and Hugh Jackman is the only reason it opened in the first place. The Music Man is a terrible musical. Here's the issue. The Music Man, bad show. Bad musical, bad thing. Hugh Jackman is born for that lead role. And there are videos out there that prove me right. He is better than the movie guy by a country mile. Dunking. Absolutely throttling the movie version. So I fully want a Hugh Jackman Music Man because I think he could totally win an Oscar for that. He's perfect for that part.
Hey, you got in trouble.
What else is there next that week? Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, Long Day's Journey into Night, Sweet Bird of Youth, Days of Wine and Roses, but none of those are technically eligible for extra credit. And then we get to do Tom Jones, but I believe at that point we're in January, right?
Yeah.
Next week,
Yeah,
next
Tom-
week's West Side Story is our last show before we go into a break, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so technically we're only doing West Side Story. Then we will be gone for 2 weeks, and then we will come back in January with Lawrence of Arabia. However,
We will need
We
the 3
can
weeks
talk
to watch
about
the show.
we will. The last thing I do want to bring up, because we've all talked about it, and now I'm just going to announce it. Starting the first, I think we said Friday in January, we will be doing the first Picture This spin-off show officially. This group, or at least a bunch of this group, not all
I
of
have
us.
not
I don't know who's
consented to
committed.
this. Mind you, I am not in this.
Adelaide Spence, I don't believe is on the show. I can confirm one person who will be participating either on the panel or not. Caleb Boatman is participating. I don't know if he's on the panel. He might be. At least it's me, Jack, and Alex, I think. Matthew, are you on it?
I'm not.
No.
I'll
Matthew and
probably
Spence
show
are on.
up for
Me
like
and Matthew can do our Survivor podcast.
Matthew and Spence will not be on. It is me, Jack, Alex, and probably Boatman, and I'm going to try and see if I can convince Cody Newberry to do it with us as well.
Oh, boy.
To have a 5-person panel.
Tell him that
We
How
are
Gay is
doing-
My Valley will not be a segment.
No,
Say what the show is. Say what the show is.
Alex, do it.
We are doing Rocky in review. We're going to cover the entire Rocky franchise week by week, leading into Creed 8 Creed 3, Rocky 9 at the start of March. So one a week, every week, starting the first week of January. We're going to cover a Rocky movie in depth. Talk about the plot boy will be back. We will actually be talking about the plot and using that to talk about the movies. We're basically going to do Picture This, but just for the 9 Rocky films leading into Creed 3. So that is our first spinoff. The 3 of us are doing it. Boatman, I think, is on it. I'm going to make a impassioned speech to Cody Newberry and make him be part of the panel. But yes, it's gonna be a great show. It'll be a lot of fun. Other than that, that's everything, right? We're ready to go. We did an hour show on The Apartment. David.
David is in this movie.
Oh, also, Alex, I'm just gonna announce this now.
Now?
And then, well, we're gonna announce it.
You
now,
don't
and
know
then
what
there's
it
gonna be
is
a
yet.
Yes, I do.
Jack, you don't know what this is yet.
What do
You don't know
mean I
what your
know
whole
what this is?
challenge even is yet. It's not fully fit. What are you
It's,
doing?
oh,
Yes,
it's done.
Oh,
it's
you
done.
finished it? Did you
been
talk
done.
about
It's done.
It's done.
We finished.
But you
it
know
a
what? That's a
while
story
ago.
for another time. Well, let's end the show right now. Jack, end the show.
Jack, play the clip.
All right,
Play the clip.
fine.
Bye.
Play the clip.
Bye, everyone.
I do wish we could chat longer, but I'm having an old friend for dinner. Bye.
So we just got confirmation that Coho doesn't make us bad, and I think that's really
Hey, you got